Welcome back. Hope you managed to get some snacks and sustenance and visit the little boys and girls' rooms respectively when we were away. So let's get straight back into the action. So Elir takes you up a sweeping staircase and into the quarters of the Overgold. As described before, it's very opulent. She goes around and quite quickly there's bright lights everywhere, and she says, "I would be grateful if you are quite quiet, as my son is asleep in one of the other rooms."
What? Excuse me.
As his what would I call her?
Mother?
No, she's his mother.
Yeah.
It's not. I was about to say nanny, but he's too old to have a nanny. So
teacher,
guardian. Let's just say that. Yeah. It's a combination, and you know, Mara, that this is a combination of someone that looks after him and somebody that does teach him. Still studying as it is. The room itself is very elegant, actually. Mara, you know that this is more Elir's influence, as left to his own devices. Dante would have the place looking like the inside of a Liberace museum. With just gold everywhere, whereas this is a lot more understated. There's lots of very dark and expensive looking wood paneling. There is burnished with gold and inlaid with mother of pearl and things here and there, but it is mostly, as I say, very elegant and understated. But even to the untrained eye, everything looks very expensive. And I think Elir, after saying, "Quiet, if you don't mind being quiet," and turning around and going, "Those were drow. I mean, I've only ever heard of them before. What are they doing in the city, and what do they want with me?"
They're trying to please Lolth.
They were hired to do that.
Again, Alden still doesn't know what Lolth is. It hasn't been explained.
Yeah, they were hired to by somebody named G.O. O.G. It was G.O.
They're trying to please the original gangster.
The original OG.
Yeah. I knew it was one of the two, but I was like, if you had said OG, I would have made a joke about it. No, it was Geo.
Yeah.
Okay. We can almost count on Terrorblades to be about 16 steps ahead and inside his mind.
Yeah.
And as you say that, she says, I mean, going back to what Mara said before, there's nobody within the church with those initials, so I don't think it refers to anybody here, either within the city or that is senior across the realms.
Could be a nickname. Probably not.
Could be a title.
Alton would be thinking and looking at Garvin like, what's your surname?
Yeah, we never asked Garvin what his surname is. We know what his parents did for a living, but not his surname.
Grand Orchestrator.
We do know.
Garvin Oldcaster? No.
Yeah. Oathbreaker. Watch out, Mara.
I trust this man.
Just wait till I write that down in
Why would Oathbreaker be his last name, though?
Because,
how does that happen?
Because it's narratively funny.
Yeah. Anyway,
that would be a very shameful name for a dwarf to have.
And I think as you do, if you do, I know you were joking there, but if you do cast a glance at Garvin, it's quite clear he's fairly uncomfortable.
Good.
He should be. He's being suspected.
Yeah.
Has he never mentioned his surname?
No.
I guess Alton wouldn't notice that as strange, really.
I'm thinking he was scared.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
Alton's like
I don't
Cher,
think-
so
Is this going to turn into the let's find out what Garvin's real name is?
someone who'd notice could just ask.
Well, I mean, I don't think
Doesn't
Mara would.
kind of seem narratively the time and place.
No.
No, the
know, I
time
don't
and
think-
place was months ago.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
and
So-
I think Mara's kind of always put more value to the first name. That's what you call them. The last name doesn't really weigh that heavily into. Maybe more for dwarves on like the value of family, but Mara probably wouldn't ask what everybody's last name is. But does Elior, do you know any of these other names? Silken Woe, Dro.
Dro definitely not. That's definitely not a name she knows. Silken Woe. She gets a natural 20 on her history check.
Not only do I know what they are, but
Yeah,
I know how they were formed.
Right.
thousands
So-
of years ago.
Oh, God, we're up to 7 suddenly. Wow.
I think what she says is, I know a little bit about them. And what I do know is only when Dante was investigating and making research about Luskan before he travelled there, before he even decided to try and make trade connections there, really. Now, have any of you heard of a drow group called the Bregan Dearth? And again, you can all make history checks if you wish.
Nah.
23.
The character in my Sword Coast Legends stream knows who about them.
Yeah.
No.
What did you
Stay,
say?
I've got-
No, I didn't even bother rolling.
All right, okay, that's fine. So, Mara, you know who they are, and that they are a band of drow who are still a mercenary band, sort of, but also trade, and they ply in secrets and espionage. They're not completely disassociated with the main houses of drow society. They're almost used as an exterior force, though that link is fairly tenuous, and there's uneasy alliances with some of the main drow houses, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
They are not necessarily followers of Lolth. They do things for their own gain, but they sometimes align themselves with the main drow houses.
Okay.
And she goes on to say that the Silken Woe are attempting, or as the saying goes, attempting to replace Bregan-Dearth and that's power.
Oh.
They are still much more fanatical followers of Lolth, though, and that has gained them quite a lot of favour in some of the more fanatical houses of drow society. They are all deserters or outsiders, but they are wishing to regain some form of standing within main drow society, whereas Bregan-Dearth members do not care such. Beyond that, I don't know. I am sure there is a lot more to know and tell as far as they're concerned, but I don't know anything about their leadership or the numbers of their membership, or indeed how far their reach is. Just that they are based, if not in Luskan, then at least nearby.
Yeah. I don't feel like I should ask her if, well, she would know probably more than me. If they have her husband, would he be in danger? they are more
absolutely.
fanatical. That feels
I think we can
Absolutely.
answer that.
You can tell she's been fearful, but she's even more fearful now that she knows that it's Drow that has her husband. In matter of fact, I can't even understand why they would still have him alive. He's probably already dead, and that she sort of shocks herself with her own words and sort of starts sobbing quite vigorously.
Mara will try and comfort her. Tell her to not give up hope. We don't know. He might still be alive. I say with the most gentle voice. Yeah, but not to give up hope. We don't know. We can't confirm that he's dead until we very much know that he's dead. She probably won't say that, but that's the gist of it.
Mm-hmm. Make a persuasion check.
Anti-grief check.
Anti-grief check. Yes, that's right.
Crit.
Right. So she takes
Wow.
comfort in your words and quite quick. I mean, she's still upset, but she's not. She's not taken over by that concern anymore, and she's got control of herself again.
Sarah comes around and asks, well, I don't know much about this, but did he have an office himself, or some place where he usually did business? I don't know
Yes,
if in here.
he has a study in these apartments here.
Would you mind if I would go and take a look?
No, I mean, if you think it would help, but be warned, there are hundreds of thousands of documents and paperwork in there. It'd be literally looking for a needle in a haystack, and you're not even sure if the needle's there.
Well,
Just be tidy.
I'll attempt to do my best. Scratching his head and just thinking about documents. It's nothing that's ever been used in his society, so that's gonna. Well, he knows, of course, what paperwork and stuff is, but yeah.
I think Mara might join him.
Yeah. So
She might have more of an eye for, like, the first line of the paper is like acquisitions. No.
And this is where we announce the crossover episode. No. No.
No. So that
I'd
would
love
be
to, but I don't think that's going to happen. So give me a bit more of an understanding of what you're looking for, because as you enter his office, it's not locked. There is a wide mahogany desk, almost like something that in our society you would see like in big fancy corner office of a Wall Street trader or something like that, inlaid with deep burgundy leather, oil lantern there that can be switched on, pen and quill, again all very ornately. This room being his tends a bit more to the garish. There's a lot more gold in here, but even that is somewhat subdued in the fact that there are drawers are full of sort of filing cabinets or sort of thing around every single wall. There's little step ladders to get up to higher up drawers, and as you open them, they are all just filled with ledgers. And there seems to be 3 drawers in the desk itself, but all 3 of those drawers are locked.
Well, I suppose he first would look around to see if he might actually have a key somewhere in here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Make an investigation check.
Can I help him?
Mm-hmm.
We should
So
probably.
either with advantage or one of you roll. Both of you roll, whatever you prefer.
I was thinking advantage for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should.
19. So you spend probably, I mean, there's so many places to look at. This is probably going to take you 15 or 20 minutes. So whilst you're doing your investigation, we'll cut back to Alton and Salir. Is there anything that the two of you are wanting to accomplish whilst Mara and Cyric rake through the Overgold's office?
So with the father dead.
I don't think Alton's altogether involved in what's going on. Like he's sort of.
Yeah.
I think since he entered this like weird building, this temple, I think he's just been sort of looking around. Like. He's...
I guess Salir will start explaining who Lolf is.
Ah, yes.
Since he seemed very confused about who this spider
So it's
god is.
so, and you sort of hear off down one of the halls. You mean like Anna Orcus, like a giant spider?
Well, actually, sort of.
Do they know
But
each
it
other? Are
is-
they sisters?
No, it is more of Lolf is the queen of the spiders. She was she was a drow who. I don't think she's a literal spider. She may be able to change into a spider.
And I think there'll be a deep sigh, and Alton's like, this realm is ridiculous sometimes.
Yeah, I don't even get it either. But, I mean, it'd be cool if it was like Anna Orcus. I'm trying to get good favor with her.
So this... Well, we're in pretty good favor. We've done a deal with Anna Orcus. Maybe...
Well, we have a deal to not interact with her whatsoever.
Yes, but still, that's an in.
That is true. I have been feeding them while we were back in Redwall.
You've been doing what?
I was feeding them.
Feeding what?
The spiders.
What were you feeding them?
Food.
Why?
The way to a woman's heart is through her stomach.
You want... What?
What?
You want to eat her heart?
No. Never mind.
Huh.
We will move on from this.
Okay.
So I think they said they had rooms here. Do you want to go check those out?
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of
is
late.
this where Mara was a girl?
Yes. No. No. I maybe when she was like a teenager. Because she's from a farming village. I know that much. So-
Yes, tomatoes and carrots.
From the way she can wrestle a pig, it is pretty evident that she's from a farm.
I've seen it.
So, yeah, so I think this is where she trained to be a cleric. I'll be honest, I sort of just kind of stop listening anytime that stuff comes up.
Mhm. Yes, I've noticed you do that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's
okay.
It's more for my own benefit, because if I get too attached and I find out like, oh man, you have all these terrible sad backstories, I'm just like, dang, now I care about you. And I don't like doing that.
Yeah, you're a strange fellow, Salir.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yep. Let's go check out
the
these rooms.
Mara hides the eye of Vecna.
Sorry, I missed a bit there. I thought my internet was about to die, so I've missed the last sort of 20 or 30 seconds of anyone asking me something. Sorry.
We're gonna go check out the rooms.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
We're just having awkward bants.
Our awkward
I
conversation.
got most of the awkward bants. It was quite good. Right. And I think, you'll sort of say to Lyra rooms and she'll just sort of gesture you down and you go round a sort of semicircular corridor and there are 6 rooms off to the left-hand side. And she just says, just take whatever. They're all pretty much the same. They're not bad. They've got a comfortable bed and a chair and a writing desk and a chest of drawers in each of them. And as you go and open the first door, and that's what it is. It's a nice, well-sized square room with a double bed and exactly as she described, a comfortable chair, a writing desk, and a chest of drawers. They're much nicer than most, other than anything but the most expensive inn that you've ever stayed in. For Alton, it's much nicer and larger than any room you've ever stayed in.
No, I mean, every bed is way too big for him, so he's just like,
yeah.
Okay, I guess we're swimming again tonight.
I think you will find these rather comfortable. Generally, in a religious temple dedicated to wealth, they should have good beds.
Mhm.
I think Alton will sort of do one of those back dives onto the bed, slowly sink like a half a foot, and just sort of look around. Yeah, it's comfortable.
The mimic bed laughs.
The bed sinks into
Then he rolls himself up into a blanket.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you need tonight, Elton? This is your first time in the city. It might be a bit strange for you.
Everything is strange here.
Well, so we're pretty comfortable back in the forest with your stag people.
Mm-hmm.
It is, I imagine, I remember my first time going to a city. I was born in one, so there. But unrelated to that, if you need anything, I will be across the hall. If you find that you cannot sleep or something.
Why wouldn't I be able to sleep? Is there something?
It is a mental thing. Sleeping in new places is very hard sometimes.
Oh. Okay.
There will be strange noises you hear outside of your window at night, which is just the noises of the city. People, animals, guards walking by. Try to ignore it.
Alton will look. Is there windows in this room?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've all got windows. As you go and look at them, you actually see that, again, like everything in this place, they are incredibly well made. And actually, as Salir's saying this, you sort of both stop, and other than Mara and Cyric, down the corridor raking through paperwork, you can't hear anything. And it's just due to the quality of the windows. They're like super triple glazed.
Never mind, we're all good.
You need a good night's sleep.
You're getting spoiled for your first night in Neverwinter.
Yeah, almost killed though. So there was that.
Yeah, me too. I'm still hurting. I'm going to figure out what the hell happened.
I mean, in the forest, you can just see a tree and be like, I remember where I am, and it's very easy to find your way home. All these streets are the same.
In the city, you just ask the armored guys.
The armored guys. Like the guys that went like this to Mara earlier.
Yeah.
No!
Generally,
What was that, by the way?
That is, many religious groups have their own sort of like hand gestures or like salutes to either show respect to people of higher ranking or for like...
Oh, like the stag guard bow?
Yes, sort of like that.
Oh.
But there are different ones for each religious group, and I think that was just the one for Waukeen.
Okay. #awesome.
Good choice.
Alright, so I'm gonna write a new character.
Only
And I'm going
parts
to
of
find
that
I'm going to
happen.
find new players.
Sorry, we're having fun with the DM. Spend hours making this, will you?
Yeah.
Dab on me.
Okay.
So, and do you, Celia, then just go and find a room yourself, and the two of you just bed down for the night? Because it is. I mean, you are both tired. It's after
honestly,
Yeah,
yeah.
no.
I mean,
what Alton will do... Sorry, go ahead, Salir.
no, I was gonna say Salir already had the first beginning of a pub crawl in him, so he's had a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
I think Alton will open up just before he goes to bed or whatever. He'll open up the windows out onto the city streets to sort of hear what Salir was talking about earlier. And if there's a like a locker or anything by the in the room, like a bedside locker or anything like that, he'll just
there's a big chest of drawers on the wall next to the door that you came in, so it's not right next to the bed, but it's it's not a massive huge room, so it's still relatively close.
Would he be able to move the chest of drawers, or is that too much of a
What's your
physical?
strength again?
-3.
Ooh.
No, but what's the actual number? Is that a 4 or a 5 or something?
5.
I think it depends. Yes, he definitely can without any rolling anything. It just depends how determined he is. It's not going to be, because it is a big, heavy hardwood chest of drawers.
How about the window itself? Is it something he could get? Is there like a lift to the window? Is there?
Oh, the window itself is inset back into the wall, and there's like almost like a wee shelf bench in front of it. So almost, and there's a velvet padded cushion on it that's almost turning that into a chaise lounge.
Oh my god, perfect! Alton will get up onto that, open out the window if he can figure it out, and he'll just sort of. Sit down.
Sorry, it froze again there. I got up onto the window.
Up onto the window. He'll sit down cross-legged, and he will smoke a pipe. Is there people in the streets?
Not in these streets. And when you were coming back, you could see they were mostly empty. But it is very late at night, and it is a slightly more.
Well.
It's a slightly more well-heeled region, so there's not a lot of pubs or anything.
You're having some robot issues there, Squid, my friend.
Yeah, and it's the connection to Discord is really, really bad. It keeps coming in and out.
It's just you anyway.
Right. Should I leave and come back into the call?
You seem to be okay now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We'll just go with it. We'll see what happens. No.
Is outside. It's a more.
Okay. Yeah, it's good. I'd say leave and come back and get yourself reset. Prepare for the cameras to all break. It's fine. It'll be fine in a while.
Yeah. Whoop. And now we say weird stuff.
This is.
Church. Why is it called Neverwinter?
Party.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Quick, everyone freak out. The DM's gone.
So to everyone in chat, thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
It is going to be a bumpy ride, as it were, going by what's happened to our cameras.
Okay,
oh, there we go.
Guiding
back.
That's clear.
Much better.
And you're back.
Yeah.
Cool.
Beautiful.
I think it was a Discord thing rather than my connection or computer thing, but I'll keep an eye on it. I just noticed the wee video connection thing. It was cycling between red and green. It was just going up and up.
Oh, okay.
It was giving me I think it was about 150 milliseconds connection, where I'm now sitting at 16.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
That's about right. Okay, so he sits up on this sort of cushioned surfaced area.
Gone again.
What's gone again?
Video again. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. So when you.
Oh man.
Is it gone again?
Yeah. Plug.
Yeah.
Do the plug in, plug out, and plug in thing that worked the last time.
Yeah. I'll do it much more quickly.
Sorry about this, viewers.
No,
It
yeah,
happens
no, I'm
sometimes.
really sorry.
It happens.
It happens indeed.
I was looking at my connection on Discord and it says Discord is connected to your real-time communication server on EU West 4.
Nice.
That
the
explains
nearest
a lot. Oh, thanks, computer. Thanks.
I've not left again, and it's not actually had a problem. I'm going to leave it again and see how it goes. It's
Okay.
still showing green. So outside, it's a more affluent area. So there's not lots of bars and things that would have people in this area. So the streets are quite wide, but they are mostly empty.
Mm.
But what you do hear is the metallic clink of the guards outside. You saw there was two at the front gate. There was two at the front door of the temple itself, and there's another two sets of two that seem to be walking the perimeter of the fence as well. And you can hear their sort of clanky footsteps in their plate armor.
Okay.
Other than that, it is genuinely fairly quiet.
Yeah. Well, he sees the guards. Sort of gets a wry smile. Starts smoking his pipe. And as he's looking out onto I presume there's the chimney stack billowing smoke and stuff this time. He sort of, there's a little magical sort of a glistening coming from the pipe. And he's going to use his pipe of illusion to fuck with the guards.
Do the guards have crossbows?
Well, the illusion is the illusion.
Yep.
Yeah. So I create an illusion. I don't believe. I don't think I get to decide what that is. I think it just.
Well, the way that pipe actually was, it wasn't so much a pipe of illusion as it's what's called a pipe of smoke monsters. So it was more. I think flavor-wise, it's from Xanathar's guide or that came out in, and it's more along the lines of Gandalf from the Lord of the Rings making like ships and dragons with.
Gandalf. Remember the boat going through the ring? Oh,
I love.
there we are.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah,
We got you.
this is really stressing me out.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
No worries. man.
So yeah, what I was saying is it was more like
Every time,
Yeah.
every time you pause in like a Shakespearean pose. That's amazing.
There we go.
Hey.
Okay, so it's more like billowy, smoky monsters. So yeah,
yes, rather than a full-on illusion.
I think from the darkened
You can
alleyways.
choose exactly what it is. That's the big difference to what you thought.
Alright.
Size restriction?
Well, what's gonna happen is I think you can do large creatures, I believe. So from billowing from one of the alleyways, the smoke will sort of start to gather at their feet, almost like a mist. And what will grow from the smoke is the spindly legs of a giant spider right in front of them.
They both fail their perception check. They don't-
Alton is he's sitting on the window, kicking his legs, smiling.
So what plays out before you is they draw their swords and put their shields up and sort of start slowly backing away and shouting for help. And quite quickly there's a semicircle of 8 sort of armored. They do almost look like legionnaires or something like that, sort of with their swords over their shields like that. It's quite clear there. The one thing you do know is, or witness, is they're very well drilled. They are acting with very minimal communication, very coordinated, but they don't seem. there's this sort of standoff between this creature and them, because they don't seem willing to engage it, and the standoff sort of continues until such time as one of them sees through your illusion and sort of puts his shield down and just like walks through it, and it sort of parts in front of them, and they're too far away.
There will be a giggling.
Yeah, they're too far away for you to hear what you're saying, but you can tell there's a lot of angry shouting, or not shouting, but groaning and conversations and sweary words coming up. But they don't.
He'll giggle, and he's now it's time for bed.
and as they slowly go back to their own portions of the nightly security. Nice one. So, whilst all of that was happening, Mara and Cyric were turning over the Overgold's office. Roll me your investigation checks. Or did you already do that? It was a 19, sorry, so it was. So, tell me, both of you, what sort of things are going to interest you. Because with a 19 investigation check, you are going to find shitloads of stuff in this office. But give me a flavour of what you guys are looking for. I know the key to the locked drawers is one thing, but we'll try and deal with everything with the one investigation check. So documentation-wise, is there anything that's going to particularly pique either of your interest?
There are 3 things mainly that Cyric's looking for. One is a journal, if he keeps like a personal journal here. And the second thing would be threatening letters. And maybe if he has, I don't know, some sort of hidden compartment on his desk or something.
Okay. First things first is you think that you have investigated the room very well, and you do not find a key. And you do not find anything of those notes. So no secret compartments and no personal correspondence of any sort or a journal. But it doesn't take a lot of thought to say that if there are locked drawers in his desk, that's where those things would most likely be if they exist.
All right. Well, Mara, do you know any way to open these, or should we ask if the wife has a key to this desk or something?
I don't have any spells to open locks, I'm afraid. I guess we'll ask Ilir if we can, if she knows who the key is, or if she has any idea.
Well, both, I guess.
Yeah. So
we don't need to, prod around or so.
Yeah.
It could be useful for us to see if he has received anything personal.
Yeah.
That's not just, church related, I suppose.
Yeah.
You're most. I would go ask her myself, but you seem to have a bit more close relationship to her, sir.
Sure, I'll wander over.
Yeah, thank you. I'll wait here, and I suppose meanwhile, while that's going on, he's just gonna sift through the notes on the table to see if he can find anything that resembles the. What was it? J-O?
G
or Geo. Yeah.
We're looking for a Geo dude.
And I think Squid is frozen.
No,
Yeah.
he just always looks like that.
Yeah. Concentrated, yet disappointed.
yeah. You really feel like we're letting him down, you know?
Yeah, and it's permanently affixed. Like,
Oh, there he goes.
oh,
He'll be back and better than ever.
yeah.
He always is better than ever.
Absolutely. So again, thanks everyone for joining us. Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
there
And
we
I
go.
hope-
That was my internet connection that time. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
That explains it.
Right.
All right.
Sorry, I just heard you were about to start speaking to Mara after. Did you hear everything I said about the investigation results and everything? That wasn't.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what I asked Mara if she could maybe go talk to the wife to see if she has a key or if she knows any means to open these.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, I would stay behind to see if I can find, I don't know, some name that resembles this Geo.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Make a separate investigation check then, because it's you're looking for something separate.
Investigation.
20.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
You do not find anything that relates to Geo or anyone that is got Geo's initials or any company or organization which he deals with called Geo.
Oh. Well, then I'll just wait around.
Mm-hmm. So Mara, you go and speak to Lear, and I think you when you go back into the main room, you find that she is just looking in on her son asleep, just to make sure he's okay and hasn't been disturbed by the ruckus. She sees you come back. She closes the door and goes, "Did you find anything?"
Oh, yeah. We were looking around, but there's a lot of things in there. But we did find some locked drawers. Would you know?
No. Dante always kept that key on around his neck. There is no spare. It is only. I wouldn't like you to try and break his desk or anything. It's he wakes up and it's like, oh, maybe we need to. He's so very protective of things in there, and it's all his private stuff. But no, there is no key. He always has that on his person.
If we would try and break it open, would you like to be the one who looks through it?
I don't know if I would like that more or less, to be honest with you. I'm still not sure I want it broken open.
Well,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
he throws out the crowbar and just hits it.
I think that Sir would be just bored and to pry it open.
Absolutely. What are you using to try and pry it open?
I don't know.
Do you have
to
a
see.
crowbar?
No, I don't have anything. I have my scimitar. But I don't know if I would.
Yeah. You could try that. There's no problem with that. Roll me a strength check. Just a straight strength check.
Turn into a bear first, you get a higher strength. So there's a bear.
19. Oh, that's a
9?
saving throw. But
No, that's fine. That'll do.
Yeah,
It's because you're not proficient in it, so it'd be the same roll.
No.
So that's fine. Roll me a D100.
Oh, that's not a 100. 87.
Oh.
Dang.
Okay, so here's what happens.
Uh-oh. Oh, wow.
You put your
This is not
scimitar and you manage it. It's the scimitar's thicker than the gap between the drawer and the lock mechanism, so you manage to get the thing in, and you have to hit the pommel. Sorry, I punched my microphone. You have to hit the pommel a few times to get it in there, and then sort of wedge it up, and you're putting all your pressure on it, and you hear two breaking sounds at the same time. First is the lock goes and the two drawers on the right-hand side of the desk pop open, as does the tip break off your scimitar.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh.
Yeah, it always hurts when the tip gets wounded.
Oh.
I hate it.
Just the
I
tip?
hate it. I
Just the
hate
tip?
it.
Just the tip.
This was important to me.
But instead of this
No.
lovely, elegant, curved scimitar, it's now just got a square end and looks like a machete.
Looks kind
Cool.
of dumb. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
God. Cyric the Jungle Fighter. I want to see that.
I suppose he would then proceed to just sift through
Mm-hmm.
the
So,
contents of the drawers.
what you found is his secret, terribly dark pornography stash.
Yes. I would lock the door and spend some time.
No.
You open it up.
Um,
It's all just there, different types of currency across the ages. Ooh.
Yeah.
And
There's
I
a
think-
dossier of mistresses.
I think, but actually, sort of Jabber sort of touched on something. Is here there are a few rare coins, things that may or may not be particularly expensive, but they maybe meant something to him. So there's a few knickknacks, things like that.
Of course, there's
you know,
nothing as valuable as the first minted coin in existence.
Well, that's true. Yeah, exactly.
Lord.
But you know the sort of thing that a lot of business people do. They keep the first coin or the first note that they got in their shop or something like that.
I got this with my first job on the paper route, and I've kept it
Yeah,
ever
exactly.
since. Yeah.
That sort of thing.
First
There's
contract.
bits and
or
pieces
first
like that. You see a wodge of correspondence. Most of it is very mundane.
Oh no.
No.
The main church, these sorts of things.
Right.
You do find a few letters to the name that Elir had already told you about, this Alar Roland, who has been his contact in Luskan. And again, this doesn't give an awful lot of insight. Most of them are fairly mundane things about him first making contact, saying that he had been given his name as somebody to speak to who had connections in the city. And the correspondence backwards and forwards about what sort of deal they would do, as in the terms of the deal between them for information and for introducing him to other people in the town. And then it moves on to dates, when he's going to go, who's going to meet him, where he's going to be put up in the town, and an itinerary of meetings which he would have. None of which is with anyone called Geo. Fittingly for you. And there is a personal folio, but mostly when you look at that, with your basic knowledge, what it seems to be is another ledger book, but for his personal business things that are not necessarily entwined with the church.
Yeah, sure. Was
And
there
Mara, sorry, on you go. There's another drawer on the other side of the table with a separate lock.
Yeah, well, of course, when he's down there, he would.
You
Rest
struggle
of the
with that,
scimitar.
but the scimitar, what's left of it's too wide to get wedged into that. So you can't get anything in there with enough purchase to break that lock.
What could a druid possibly do?
and Mara, you can see Lear's face as you hear crunching from the well.
I don't really want it to. Well.
It sort of seems that decision's been taken out of my hands. And, well.
Oh, hi there, friend. No, I brought my friends as well. Don't worry about them. You're looting the temple. Well,
not to worry. I know that your friends mean well. They're just trying to help.
Alden is dragging out a statue out of the temple.
Yeah. And now she hears gorilla noises. And things being thrown around. Windows crashing.
Feces everywhere. Okay, Lear, let's at least go and look what happened. So we can I can pay for the damages.
And she's like, it's not about payment. God, you Waukeen are, and everything down to money. I'm sick to death of it. I wouldn't be in this situation if you hadn't gone and pushed the envelope.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he means well, but I mean, I we didn't agree on things, but he's still an idiot.
Well, you always know why he will investigate potential rivals or potential business acquaintances to try and get some sort of an advantage. That it doesn't take a genius to know that's what's happened here. He'll have found out the wrong information about the wrong people and tried to blackmail them or something like that into a better deal, and this is the result of it. He probably found out that they were all drow. Surprised they didn't just slit his throat.
Yeah, they may have.
Oh God.
Gods be tempted. I'll be wanting to do that when he gets back.
No.
He's dead.
Well, putting us all through this turmoil. I mean, he's annoying, but I mean,
fuck, my internet's gone again.
Well, we can still hear you.
It looks like you're about to pick your nose.
Mara draws a dagger and stabs the woman. Oh. Technical difficulties, the stream.
Yeah, it's been poor squid.
I mean, this seems like it's all related to Discord.
No, it's Squid's internet.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe
well, it's working fine for me. I've had no problem.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's alright. He'll be back again. He'll be back.
Yeah, he looks slightly disappointed again.
My baby back, baby back, baby back.
It's like he's gonna just about to make a point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Point right up his nose.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys who's watching this far are enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. It is unavoidable sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot that can go wrong. So.
Well, it's not common though, but it. I think
Hey,
this is the
as
time.
Dan says, seeing as it's Squid having the difficulties, wouldn't it make it tentacle difficulties?
Oh.
Whoa.
But Squid's not here to see that.
A low grumble from the crowd.
Yes. Yeah.
Remember to dab on the haters.
Dab on the haters, just like the people of Waukeen.
Yeah, I know.
He's gone,
Tomorrow
so he should be back shortly.
That is canon now.
No. No.
Waukeen dab.
No.
Oh, both of your faces when I did that. Fantastic.
Yeah, that was.
Apologies, one and all. My internet has been stable for weeks, and tonight it has decided to turn into a total clusterfuck. So,
Yay!
Apologies.
Technology, the best.
Super stressful, but nevertheless. So I basically cut out the minute I'd stopped talking on behalf of Alir. So I don't know, did you get all of that conversation?
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I
'Cause
believe so.
we heard you say, "Oh, internet's gone again."
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
We made sure to
Right.
dab on the haters while you're gone.
No.
I didn't need to know that. Super disadvantage.
Mara would. Mara was. What did I? I don't think I answered. Of course, he
If you
tried to
did,
look-
if you did, I didn't hear you.
Okay. Of course, he was probably looking for some advantage, and he might have found out that they were drow. But surely he would be more valuable alive than dead. I mean, I would think that the temple would do more to try and find him rather than hoping for advantage.
They just, you know what it's like. That's the problem with your church. Being merchants, yes, there's this veneer that everything is all well and good, but everyone's always politicking and it's one-upmanship. I mean, you can't be so naive that you've never seen it.
Of course, I've seen it.
It's not all sweetness and light.
Of course, that's why I'm part of the Salinar. There's a difference between what they're doing and what. Well, of course, that happens with us as well. But
Well, nobody else in Neverwinter is a member, and all of them wish to be the next Overgold, and there's a good half dozen to 10 of them that have a reasonable chance if he's dead. But again, I will reiterate, they're not evil. I genuinely would be incredibly surprised if any of them have taken any active participation in causing this.
of course, it just feels like they don't even think about that. If the Overgold seems to disappear and they take that position, it makes it seem like we don't really care about our own. But I guess that's true as well.
Yes, that finally you have it. They don't care. It's just advantage to be taken advantage of.
Well, if I get the opportunity, I'll try and change it, because this is not how it's really supposed to be. Other faiths, they stand together, and we struggle against each other for the same mission.
Yes, but it is always, it's money. Money corrupts almost as surely as demons.
Mara will shake her head, but not answer.
Anyway, I'm tired and emotional, and I will await bed. You know where the guest rooms are, and she
Yes.
goes down the curved corridor, the opposite side of the building from where Alton and Saviour disappeared to.
I think Mara will sort of collect herself for a few moments, and then remember that there was a popping and a crack in the other room, and be like, okay, collect yourself. And she will
You hear a-
walk over to the other room. First, she
Hear
will
a-
knock heavily on the child's door. No,
You hear a lot of cursing while you're contemplating. Like, how do I? Damn it!
bash.
I suppose you would find Siri sitting in his like office chair.
What? I heard a sound.
I got it open. Sadly,
Okay.
I broke my.
I broke my key.
He's just there.
Yeah,
He's like,
broke my key.
I see him as like just the sword behind his back, sort of hiding it in shame, and then I broke it.
Okay,
I
give me.
did.
Hmm?
I did find some things. Most of it is, however, just notes from his contacts in Luskan. I
Okay.
also found this, and that was the personal ledger that I that I did not understand. Or
Okay.
I don't know if this is anything about, and that I can't get that thing open. And as it points to the last cabinet.
Yeah. Well, okay, Sirik, let's I'll try and shift through some of this during the night. And she will, can she find the tip, so to speak?
Mm-hmm.
So she will
Yeah, I
take,
mean, it's either on the floor or Cyric's picked it up.
yeah. So she will put it on the sword and she will cast mend on the scimitar to fix the crack. Or the splits
Let me
or whatever.
see mend. I'm not sure if it's powerful enough to fix something that's totally
1d4 damage. As long as the breaker tier is no longer larger than 1 foot. Let's see. Can't restore an object.
Read it out.
This spell repairs a single break or tear in an object you touch, such as a broken chain link, 2 halves of a broken key, or a torn cloak, or leaking water skin. As long as the break or tear is no longer than 1 foot in any dimension, you mend it, leaving no trace of former damage. The spell can physically repair a magical item or construct, but the spell doesn't restore magic to such an object.
Well, it's just a sword.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's not a magical sword, so yeah, and it's definitely less than 1 foot in dimension. So yeah. How does Cyric feel?
Mara,
I've prepared
you
your
are wonderful. Would you like to help me get this thing open? And as he like strokes the end of this sword, like, oh, it's great.
Okay, let's and Mara will sort of suppress the emotion of, I'm going to break open another drawer, when she explicitly told me that she didn't really want us to sort of rifle through this crap, but it's already done at this point. So she'll bring out the rapier. How about we try a smaller implement to try and do this?
Oh, that could work too.
So we bring out the rapier.
Okay, same thing. Strength check.
Well, sir, do you want to try? Or should I try?
Well,
I mean,
or we could do it together.
sure. Let's try it together. So, I guess I'll grant him advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As we both try to
roll another 19. Roll me a D100 again.
Oh no. It's gonna pierce the entire desk and break the sword.
I'll tell you now, these drawers only had DC 10 like checks, and it was anything over an 18 meant that there was a possibility of a breakage. Because you're not right.
Wow.
No, your rapier is okay. I only gave them 15% chance, which was 85 and above to break. So,
Unlucky.
Yeah.
so Cyric was lucky, but it's been mended, and your rapier manages to withstand, and you quite quickly pop open the.
It was a fancy rapier. I did pay extra for it.
Yeah. Now, in this drawer, you see the official things like there is sealing wax and the official sealing stamp of the gold what's it
The
called?
overgold?
Overgold.
Yeah.
So these are again not intrinsically valuable things, but they all tend to be the accoutrement of the overgold. There's a couple of ceremonial rings that don't have any, again, intrinsic value and things like that, but there's nothing informative in there at all.
Well, that's a dud.
Well, we tried. I'll try and sift through these papers. You can go and have a rest if you want, Cyric. I'll stay up a while to figure out where our next clue is.
Yeah. If there is even any there. Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, thank you. And good night.
Good night. Sleep well, Sarek.
You too, Mara. And Siri just heads off into the corridor and looks for a room to stay in.
Sort of glance in the first two rooms and see they're taken by Celir and Alton, and the third one's empty, so you can take that. What are you doing then once you find yourself left alone? Is Garvin slunk off to his slumber as well?
Did Garvin stand around while we tried to use our strength? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. Do it.
You're the one who forgot about him.
You're right, exactly.
Yeah, true. I mean, Mara will sort of sit down in the chair, take a moment to center herself, and then sort of go through the letters, look for locations and names, and try to sort of take down notes of like, he was supposed to meet this person, this person, this person, stay at this inn, meet with these people, and then she will start, when she's had sufficient enough notes from his personal letters, she will start going through and she will start from the end of the journal or the ledger, and then move backwards.
So in the letters, let's start for them. They're quite easy. So the Alar Roland has told him that he would be able to introduce him to people within each of the 5 high captains' ships, which I think we already did an intelligence check last time. That Mara understands that the government of Luskan is broken up into sectors, each controlled by the ships of the 5 high captains.
Yeah.
And they are separate factions. There is a lot of unease between each of them, and they basically rule each segment of the city in their own right. So it's almost like 5 separate cities that are all stuck together. Well, cities. It's only town. It's not a huge place. So he has not been given specific names within each of the ships, but that is what he has been told, that there is a great deal of timber and high quality furs that come out of Icewind Dale in the snowy north. There is very high quality scrimshaw that is well sought after. But more than anything, because the Overgold has underlined it when he's been reading it, is the thing that probably has drawn him is the silver and silver work from Mirabar.
Work. Mirabar. Okay. That is interesting. So there's no names of a tavern, maybe?
Yes, there is. I haven't specified it myself, but I will give you one.
There's that thing of the man we're looking for was supposed to be at this place. Have you seen a man that looks like this?
It's called the Roadhouse.
It's called the Inn.
No.
Roadhouse.
It's called the Not Drow Tavern. It's called the Loth Sacrificial Chamber.
It's weird. It's one of those gay clubs.
Yeah. It is one in the docks, and it is called the Trawlerman's Tryst.
That's a nice name.
Actually, I better put that in my notebook.
Better write that down.
No. I have a huge list of inn names. I'm just marking that one is now in Luskin.
Is Luskin even a port city?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, definitely. That'd be real weird if it wasn't.
the docks around the pond in the center of town. The pirates, not really pirates.
Yeah, the pirates in the landlocked town.
Yeah, they wander around in clothes,
Um,
model ships.
no,
They
it's the
all
sort of-
sit
it's-
around
it's-
the fountain.
Yeah,
could be
a
sky
little bit
pirates.
behind the screen again. It's the sort of thing I'm doing when I watch a film. And I just sit and like write down pub names and things like that. I've also got a huge list of beer and wine.
Great.
The curse of the DM, always searching for names.
Yeah. So yes, you have that pointed out to you, the Trollerman's Tryst. It's not a name that you are aware of, not something that you've heard of.
Okay. That gives us at least a we have a person, a place, motive. Yeah. Okay. Does the journal or the what was it? Was it a journal or a? I forgot what the other word was.
It was a ledger. It was a ledger
Ledger.
book, and going through that, there's no more clues as to what he was doing in Luskin. What this gives you is a list of all of his current businesses, trade agreements. It's it's the equivalent of spreadsheets, of incomings and outgoings, profit margins, and it's probably incredibly interesting to Mara, and it proves why he's the Overgold, because he's fucking good at business. Everything is highly profitable with larger than expected profit margins than what you would expect for the types of business. His businesses are very varied, but he does seem to particularly focus on trading, import, export type sort of stuff.
Okay. Let's see, because that
Bring
would have been
it in cheap, sell it on a higher cost.
Yeah. Because that would have been my next question. How good is he? Does like
Could I beat him?
Do you compare?
Which is bigger? Okay. So then, can I do like a check to see? He wanted like information on competitors and stuff like that. Can I try and roll some type of check to look in his office? Like you would feel under the desk maybe, or I don't know if there's any type of secret compartment. Personally, I wouldn't have looked in the office because that's where everybody looks, but Mara doesn't think.
Roll an intelligence check to begin with.
Right.
I
Intelligence.
think everyone looks in the office for a reason,
14.
because people put stuff in their office.
14. Before you start looking, you sort of think about it for a second, and from your not dealings with him, but just being in his presence for the number of weeks that you spent here, that he would tend to do that on site. So where he's done that, he probably wouldn't have done an awful lot of that until he entered Luskin, and may have hired somebody locally to investigate. Even if he did it up front, he wouldn't have had the information sent to him in Neverwinter. He would have waited to receive the report in Luskin. So you think there is a very low chance of anything like that being present here?
Okay. Mara will put everything back as they found it, other than
the bits of the front of a couple of drawers.
Yeah, and she'll be like, "Should I mend it?" No, then we have to break it open if we want to re-look at something.
There's also it's also not a single fracture, so you wouldn't be able to use mending on them because it's cracked in several different ways.
Crap. Right. Mara will probably take a few moments in the chair, so to say, and then she will walk out of the room and she'll try and find the head of the guard of the temple.
Do you want to wake the head of the temple guard, or do you just want to find who is the most senior person that's on night duty?
I think she would actually wake the head of the guard because it's kind of important.
Okay. That's fine. Bear with me a second.
You meet.
He won't look so tough in his skivvies.
Yeah. His name is Trollman's Trist.
No.
Did I get that right? Was it the Trollman's? No, it was
Trawlerman.
Trawlerman.
As in fishing trawler.
Yeah.
Yes. Fishing trolling.
A fishing trawler. Now, Mara, as far as the organization of the Church of Waukeen is concerned, would the leader of the temple be a shield coin, as is outside the temple at the moment, or would he be a member of one of the higher orders?
I think he would be a shield because these are like the guards. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. He would just be a platinum shield coin rather
Yes.
than a silver
Yeah.
or a gold. Yeah, that's fine. You find him, you know that, which is not shown on the picture, but behind that building there is a rectangular building sort of built onto the back of the circular temple, and that's where the shield coins barracks are, and you know that he's got quarters in there. Most of the other shield coins, it's an open barracks, but he actually has quarters. And you go in, ask shield coin to go and get him, and you're asked to wait for a while in an antechamber, and he does come out with ruffled hair, looking a bit flustered, and it sort of says, what is the problem? I know you wouldn't wake me up for nothing.
Oh, little do you know about Mara.
Yeah. I forget everything. She will. Yeah, well, we're amongst the guards as well, so.
Well,
she doesn't need to whisper.
The other guards, the other guards are either out on night duty, or are asleep in the main barracks. So, but you're in a wee sort of office at the front now with him.
Yeah.
And you know him to be called Stagrin.
Yeah. So she will take out the note and sort of show it to him. Can you read this?
No, I'm afraid that is not a language I can understand.
We met Elir. She was out in town. She was looking for me.
Yes, she has been in to see me many times. I know she is worried about the overgold, but he's barely been away 3 weeks. I mean, he's been on trade missions for months in the past. I'm not really understanding why she's so worried.
We were attacked by Drow tonight. They
And
wanted
you can
her
see
specifically.
he changes instantly. Drow in the city.
In the city, in the streets. The city guard currently have the one surviving Drow.
Oh, that is very much a turn of events. I can understand why you've woken me.
So she would need extra protection. as long as this remains an unresolved issue. This note says that the drow were to come, and they were sent by somebody to get her, as there was someone apparently who was looking to take over the Overgold's position. They don't speak of any type of alignment, and the only clue we have is the letters G-O.
Thinks about that for a while.
Stagrim hides his insignia of G-O.
And he's it's not an initial that I can bring to mind anyone that would be. He seems flustered at the thought of who that may or may not be. I'm sorry, but I cannot be of any help.
No, it's fine. We're going to try and investigate this and find. We're going to find more clues. We gotta do something, because this shit is not okay. And she will like visibly try and stop herself from going into another like rant with another person. We know that there was apparently a group called the Silken Woe that were tasked with capturing her. Unless you don't know who they are, they're a drow mercenary band.
Well, anything to do with the drow is not good news. I do not know what this Silken Woe is, but I don't need to know any more than that is affiliated with the drow to know it is terrible news.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring this to you so that you can grant her extra guards, extra protection now that her life is in mortal danger.
That is not a problem. I will actually reach out. I'll put more men on straight away, but I will reach out and try and get a couple of sword coins to give her personal close protection.
Good.
But in the meantime, I will provide 4 shield coins as well at this moment in time, who will not let her out of their sight when she is anywhere other than within the temple.
Yeah, good. I mean, she will struggle, but it's for her own good.
Well, yes, I agree.
But so I will retire for the night. I have laid something heavy upon you, but I hope that you can sleep anyway.
He sort of looks down. I think I shall be up for some time again now, writing missives and rearranging the men, but I should probably get a couple of hours before I have to get up properly again.
Well then.
But do not worry about me losing sleep. As you say, the Overgold's wife is more important to protect.
Yeah, I agree. So, I hope your work will not carry you too long throughout the night. Good night.
It will, but that's what I'm here for. Good night.
Yeah, and Mara will probably wander off and no, yeah, anything that she would do with the temple, she would have had to do with when everybody's awake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because at this point, I think she would only try and look for anything that they can grant them to help, but everybody's asleep, so.
Yeah. And again, for the other players and those watching, I think Mara will be quite comfortable of the safety of Alir, because the Holy Order of Waukeen does have military factions, and they're sort of split up into skirmishers and scouts that are called bow coins, that are mostly with ranged weapons, but are sort of the scouting troops. The shield coins, who are the defenders of the faith, and mostly temple guard, which the party have already seen. But the sword coins that have been referred to are the more, not the most elite, but they're more elite combat soldiers, like shock troops. And having a couple of them at Ilyr's side will make her much more safe. It's all to do with Waukeen likes spending money, so they've got their Waukeen Ardu, so they've got their own mercenary troops. They're quite well paid, so the very best of mercenaries are brought into the fold. And I think as Mara goes back to the temple and the Overgold's quarters and lays down, and whether she manages to sleep or not, I will leave in your particular hands, Terror. But I think that is quite a good time to bring today's session to an end. It's been very heavy on lore and RP, but I must admit I have enjoyed it quite a lot.
Same here.
Me too.
Yeah.
I know Mara has managed. This is just because it's in her temple. She's going to have a lot more focus at the moment, but that's the way of these things.
We all get it. We all get our moments.
Yeah. I think it's a very good decision. I think we should kind of stay with this. No,
It's the Mara Show.
Well, I don't know, Mara. Do you want vampires to attack your temple?
Oh my god, that's kind of a cool like image though. Vampires with like golden warriors fighting. It's almost kind of Warhammer, but never mind.
Yes, please.
All right, let's do our wrap ups. How far back do we go on this list?
9 days. 9 days. Yeah.
Alright, starting on 9 day.
Okay, hold on. We're just explain. We just read out all at the end of the shows. We read out all of the follows, subscriptions, donations, etc. Jabber.
Yes. All right. Let's work and see how well I can say these things.
Indeed.
We have Kanzel Villa Griskson.
Nice.
We have Tymo TV 5D.
Thank you.
TW Fighter 4i. Pingvin Harkosp.
Wait. Pingvin Hardcast. It sounded like
Okay.
Penguin has a stick.
Hold on. Capitaine Towin Nonu 7. Killer Mania TVVF. Pingvin Harkosh. Oh, he came again. How'd you get twice? Oh, one was Harkosh. One was Harkosh.
Harkosh.
Oh
Milk
no.
We have
No.
Milk Viper OD.
No.
We have 2 subscribers, which is us.
And my brother.
And your brother, sorry. 4 subscribers. Man, we're so good at
We're a
this.
small operation.
Yeah. We have Nolty NL, Bjorn 1614. I believe that is your brother Squid.
He was born in
Yes.
1614.
And he was
Yep.
born in 1614.
And he's 6 years younger than me as well, so
He's doing great.
take for that what you will.
Yeah, thank everybody for. We appreciate the subscribes and the follows and everything. And if you need any information on us, we'll be posting stuff about the Twitter. We have Squid. You have something you want to say?
Yeah, Terror sort of alluded to this at the beginning, is that just to celebrate the fact that we have become affiliate and we can now have subscribers, we're going to run a subscriber contest. Well, not contest, but a prize draw. So anyone that is subscribed to us by Sunday the 28th of October will be put into the hat, and we're going to give away a copy of Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition on Steam, which Terror and I currently are doing a playthrough of on Tuesdays. So
That looks awesome.
quite a good thing to give away, because we're having such a good time playing it. But it'd be good to give someone else that.
It's a good fit. And listen, if you're watching at home and you have like a Twitch Prime account or sorry, an Amazon Prime account or anything like that, once per month you get a gimme Twitch sub essentially.
Absolutely.
And if you would send that our way, that would be absolutely fantastic. That will automatically put you into the draw, which we'll do on the 28th. The game happens on the 28th. We'll probably do it, I don't know, the end of the show on that day, or I don't know. We haven't figured that part out yet.
I kind of think it's maybe something we'll do. Well, we'll talk about that close to the time. Whether we do it at the beginning, the middle, or the end, then we've not decided.
We'll reveal the beginning of the princess name at the beginning, and then the other half at the end.
No, that won't be happening.
Yeah. As ever, disregard most of what Terry says.
Yeah.
Yes. They are like family to me now.
Rule.
Yeah, just I guess just a big thank you to everyone who has followed us. We're 7 weeks or so doing this.
And I don't think we expected to be anywhere close to being able to pass the affiliate test. Never mind, already done. So
we really didn't.
All we have next is the partnership test.
Yeah, that's a little bit away now. The difference between affiliate and partner is a big one, but
slightly harder.
But just for everyone who gives us the time of day and comes to either see this live or watches later on YouTube, whichever you happen to be doing, just a huge thank you. This is an incredible sort of experience for us. It's been amazing to get to affiliate. We definitely did not expect that. So thank you again, everyone.
Thank you.
But especially
you guys are
you know
great.
who you are.
Bye.
See you later, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Bye.
Take care, guys.
Have a great week,
See
everybody.
you.